Welcome everyone to Team Essentially Healed. Tonight we're going to be talking about men's health. Now, this is definitely not an area that I am an expert in, but I did do some research and hopefully this is helpful to everyone. So I found a couple of groups that specialize in men and oils. One of them is Broterra. So that's a team that specializes in men's issues and in recruiting men. And they have an awesome Facebook page. So if you have someone who is looking for information about men's health and oils for men, Broterra is a great Facebook page. I'm going to share some recipes. And so starting with our slides, we've got an aftershave. So that would be 1 or 2 drops with fractionated coconut oil. And so you'll just cup your hand and drop the oil in the palm of your hand and then add a couple of drops of the fractionated coconut oil. Rub your hands together and just pat your face. The next up is the Manly Man Beard Oil. So this is from the Rollerball Make and Take Kit, Rollerball Men. And so they're using in a 15 mil. So you would just take an empty oil bottle that's a 15 mil bottle and add in the 12 drops of eucalyptus, 10 drops of juniper, 8 drops of petitgreen, 8 drops of sandalwood, and then top it off with almond oil and jojoba oil, or really any 2 oils that are fatty oils. You could use a vitamin E oil, anything like that. Apply about 5 drops to the beard and massage into the skin under the beard. Okay, so with the sandalwood oil, if you have not used sandalwood before, sandalwood is super thick. And so any of the oils that are really, really thick, what you can do, this is going to sound really weird, but what you can do is just stick it under your arm because it's really warm there and just hold it there for a little bit, you know, a few minutes until it's warmed up. And once it's warmed up, it's a lot easier to get out. Another way you can another way you can access those thicker oils is to take the orifice reducer off, which is the white part after you take the cap off, and you can either use a dropper or a pipette. You can get those at Aroma Tools or Oil Life or any of those oil accessory companies online. And or what I do is I just take the orifice reducer off and just very carefully drop the oil into my palm, or into wherever it's going. Next, we've got I've got a couple of different colognes. So this first one is wild orange, sandalwood, cardamom, and frankincense. And then you're just going to top it off with the fractionated coconut oil. Now, that is looking to me like a 5 mil, and so that'll be fairly potent. Now, just know that with that wild orange, it is going to be photosensitive, so you don't want to put it anywhere that you're going to get a lot of sun exposure for the next 12 hours. And this one is from Broterra, so you can see how they do their name, Broterra. And then next is Woodland Balance. So this is going to be a really nice one for grounding. So it's Balance, Elevation, Sandalwood again, and Cedarwood. Putting that in a 10 ml roller bottle and then topping it with the fractionated coconut oil and then applying it to the pulse points. Elevation does have some citrus in it, so again, you're going to want to be careful with sun exposure, but you can put it in places that aren't going to get sun exposure. Okay, so another really important piece of men and oils is providing workout support. Now, of course, it feels so sexist to me to be doing this, but so this applies to both men and women. The peppermint is good for not only releasing tension, but for putting on the muscles before you work out. The melaleuca for cleansing and rejuvenating the skin. The breathe will clean your airways as you work out. It actually helps open up your airways so that you can get more oxygen as you're working out. And then, of course, the deep blue rub for providing cooling and warmth to the problem areas. So anywhere, and I prefer to use this before a workout if I have some problem areas, and then after if some develop while I'm working out. So great protocols for helping you get out there and really work out. Again, men and women on this one for sure, and this one as well. So shoe refresher. Now, for those of you who have had men in your life, you know that stinky tennis shoes is kind of an issue with testosterone. And so using 2 drops of each of Purify and On Guard in the shoes can help a lot. You can also put those on some cotton balls and put them in the shoes and really help absorb those odors. So another thing that's really common with men, especially if they're working out in the cold, is the cold cracking fingers. Now, of course, women have this issue as well sometimes. This is a really great way to relieve the discomfort of cracked skin, and it's simply Correct-X. So Correct-X has lavender, cedarwood, frankincense, melaleuca, and helichrysum in it, and it is excellent for any kind of skin irritation, especially cracked skin. And then specific to men is prostate health. So this recipe is one that Dr. Hill gave out years ago. It's 5 drops of frankincense, 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of thyme, 3 drops of clove, and 5 drops of citrus bliss in a capsule. And you take that 2 to 3 times a day. This is really effective for any man who's having prostate issues. So those are the recipes that I have for you guys. So I'm using the Essential Life app. That's a new one to me. When I got my iPhone, I grabbed that, and it's pretty awesome. And so in searching men's health there, you come up with 9 solutions, 31 ailments and symptoms, and 6 remedies. And so I'm going to look at the ailments. We've got abnormal sperm morphology. We've got boldness, benign prostatic hyperplasia, erectile dysfunction, genital warts, hormone imbalance. So hormones are important for both men and women. Impotence, incontinence, infertility, jock itch, low libido. So a lot of these are very, very similar, and low testosterone. And so I just wanted to go over all those recipes that I shared have most of these oils in them. So this, for the hormone imbalance for men, we've got sandalwood, we've got juniper berry, we've got rosemary, balance, and ylang ylang. Now ylang ylang is a star when we're talking about hormone balancing. And so that's good for both men and women for hormone imbalance. And then the erectile dysfunction, we've got cypress, zendocrine, sandalwood, ylang ylang, and passion. So again, very repetitive on the men's oils. So I would say that our top men's oils are going to be sandalwood, cypress, cedarwood, frankincense. We saw lavender in a lot of those recipes, but you could also use petitgreen. So when petitgreen came out, they introduced that as the men's version of lavender. So it's not as floral and seems to appeal more to men. So I do recommend that app. It's the Essential Life app. when I looked at the EOE Books app, it didn't have nearly as much, or it wasn't as easy to find maybe the information. So any other recommendations you guys have for men's health, or any other things that that you know that men deal with that that are specific to men's health?
In some of the research I was doing was some of the oils that are recommended affect blood pressure and high blood pressure. So that's one thing that you want to keep in mind. If a recipe has rosemary, what were the other ones? There's 2 or 3 that you should avoid if you have high blood pressure, but rosemary was the one that came in to context on this, what we were doing last week.
So to relieve high blood pressure, use helichrysum, ylang ylang, cassia, frankincense, and marjoram. So I just searched essential oils to avoid for high blood pressure.
And where are you searching for that?
Google.
Okay.
Rosemary, sage, and thyme is what this particular website called Esoteric Oils. I don't know that I trust them. Robert Tisserand. I do trust him.
Yes.
Okay, so same thing. Okay, so they were getting their information from him. Rosemary, hyssop, which we don't have, sage, and thyme should not be used for people with high blood pressure. So good to know. Thanks for pointing that out.
And we don't really have sage, do we? We have clary sage, but do we have sage?
Oh, you're right. It's clary sage. Okay, just totally different. Clary sage is a fabulous hormone oil. All right. Anything else? Gonna be a short one tonight. Okay, so next week I am at an event, and so I'm gonna say no webinar next week.
That's kind of the 4th of July holiday anyway, isn't it?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. And so then after that, what do you guys want the next topic to be?
Oh, gee, that's 2 weeks away.
Yep. Stephanie, do you have an idea?
Since the website just changed, I don't know, like I just logged into it and I was kind of shocked by it, but maybe just do like a tutorial on it.
Okay, great.
How to find stuff, how to enroll people, like how to find the oils that you want. I don't know.
So yeah, I can do a website tutorial or a website tour.